Hi guys, God bless you all. Welcome to today's reading. Today's reading is for November 22nd, 2019. Of course, you guys know these readings are absolutely timeless. They are designed for anybody and anything that resonates with it, okay? And that's all there is to it. It's funny because Bee Spirit is here. I put him here because I just felt like he needed to be there. and when I said resonating, look at this. Look at how Bee Spirit, you know how bees dart in and out of things and they don't necessarily stay in any one place for long. That's how you guys have to think of yourselves when it comes to discernment. Remember that the world that we live in, the human world that we live in, necessitates language, and it also necessitates labeling in order to be able to connect with each other, because unfortunately most of us haven't really tapped into the telepathy and all that good stuff. But that being said, because we live in a world of labels, look at how these little honeycomb patterns, they're all labels in the background. But Bee Spirit has the ability to discern, and he or she can like lift up and go anywhere he or she feels, regardless of the labeling. So why is that important? Because, for example, today's reading is going to be labeled November 22nd, 2019, and then a title for the message. Honestly, don't get caught up in the dates, all right? Even if it doesn't matter, whoever the reader is, any information you see out in the world, it's not about dates. It's about, for some reason I have been attracted, or my attention has fallen upon this piece of information. Does it feel like it's for me or does it not? And so it is, and that's it, all right? So, Bee Spirit, he just got a kiss. Yay! Let's put him back there. So if this reading resonates for you, God bless, whenever, then it's for you. All right, so let's get started. So today, my angels and guides, God bless them, they said to drop 8 cards. And I was like, okay, whatevs. But you guys know I always have more than 8 cards. And so I just ended up putting the cards out, and I just felt, oh, okay, those are 8 cards. Now, I'm not sure what the daily message is, the lesson that they're going to bring through is, but when I was laying the cards, I definitely was getting this moment. Yeah, I'm feeling it again. It's like a love, it's a connection, it's a couple that I'm getting here. Divine feminine and divine masculine. Now notice I say divine masculine and divine feminine. Of course we know those labels with respect to here we go back to the labeling with respect to the twin flame journey, but please know that it can and it's funny because my twin flame crystals wanted to come in earlier and sit right on top of Peacock Spirit. You guys know I love Peacock Spirit. She's great. Anyway, but I put it there, so shout out, right? You know that this could be relating to any relationship where there's that dual charge going on to make up the whole. All right, so let me just tell you what my impressions were. I'm getting a very jail feeling here. This canary spirit, God bless. Canary spirit, we know canary spirit is super sweet. Look at him. He's like, yeah. Every time he talks, he has that little song. But we know canary spirit is free, and canary spirit in his most canariest moments, his freedom inspires others to freedom. But notice he came out in the reversed. Cray, right? For me, it looks like a jail situation. But what I'm seeing here is, it's funny because I'm seeing Peacock Spirit as a feminine energy and Fox Spirit as masculine energy, and them being bonded together here in a card that, like, just upon its face seems to denote the feeling of jail. Okay, it's imprisonment, jail. Now over here, when I laid these 3 cards, I got a very male and female reading as well. The Knight of Angels came up, but wanted to touch this masculine card, the Knight of Angels, so they were close. And then the Ace of Stars, which corresponds to the feminine, came out with a space in between, and a large space, so they're not together like these are. Let me remind you guys, I often post in the community tab when I announce the new video, I often post the spread untouched as it is, so that you can do your own reading with it. So if you want to keep that up while you're looking at this video, do it. Anyway, So I'm seeing that there's this divide here, and I got the impression that the Knight of Angels, the masculine, understands the pain that he or she, because it doesn't matter the gender, or they, right, that they cause the divine feminine while on earth, right? They know that, they feel it, and there's this divide here. But I'm also seeing that also attached to these two cards, and I'll show you guys the cards later as well as I get into the reading. As I attach these two cards, I'm seeing this sense of depression here for him. It's like having to grow and go through depression and stress. But what kills him the most, whether we are aware of it or not, is this idea that he is going through this and he has to be that hot poker that pokes and hurts his divine counterpart, his feminine, his queen is what I'm getting. And as I'm talking like that, I'm seeing the light bouncing orange right off of my skin here and matches these orange, what do you call it? I almost said orange feelings, and I almost said orange ideas. These orange images, and I'm seeing this, this feeling that he has for this divine feminine who he's hurting. It's like this idea, like and then she feels very like her back is turned to him right now. It's like this feeling like she is my world, she is my center, she's, she gives birth, because I'm seeing egg here and egg here. I'm seeing her being the world for him. She is the absolute world for him on any side of the field, the physical, non-physical, and that orange is matching Fox Spirit's orange. It's just like they're the masculine's orange. It's like she is me, I am her, she belongs to me in a sense. And I'm seeing Bee Spirit coming in, right, with his orange, right? And so it's kind of like it's kind of, Bee Spirit, I was like, why is Bee Spirit trying to get up in here, And then I saw, see, my thoughts inside, I don't really talk about it. But I had that. And now it makes sense, because it says sweet results await. So Bee Spirit is coming in for the Divine Masculine, as the Divine Masculine, using that card to show that, yes, we're all part of each other and stuff, and it hurts me to hurt her, my feminine. But I know that one day we will be whole. I know that one day we will be tempered. We will be, and it's interesting because the way he's saying it, it's like they're not actually apart. The way he's saying it's like somewhere in the higher realms, they're unified already, and down here it's like trying to get this back together and doing the learning and all that to get there. But kind of missing the boat is what he's saying. I'm seeing him here talking about missing the boat, because see the same orange color, we love Lizard Spirit looking cute. He's like, huh? What's going on? Caught unawares. But what Lizard Spirit is coming in here to do is to support the masculine in telling us that, look at that, how that circle, that orange circle in the background, that's that completion, that's that union that exists already between this male and female. But they're missing the boat because it's staring them straight in the face. But here he is as Lizard Spirit, not even acknowledging that. He's looking around at other things that seem more real to him than the divine union that is right in front of his face, that is already ancient, already in being. Look, 38 card, that's the 11 card, right? And so look at this plant that he's on. It seems more real. He's not able to see, and he's acknowledging that the both of us, divine feminine and masculine, wander around in this fake world we've created with each other, completely together, but completely like feeling distant from each other, and feeling distinct from each other when they are actually the same, right? And he's saying that their only best defense is to dream the world into being. They can't see the world that's like right there, that they are together, they're in union, they're this and that. And so they must keep the vision, is what he's saying. God bless him. Underneath him, hanging out over here, is Otter Spirit. Aw, totes cute. Otter Spirit, you're never alone. Look at them snuggled up, all booed up together. I always see this as the feminine. This is the masculine. How cute. Look at them together, guys. Guys, I want to love like that. I want to love like a little rodent looking thing together with each other. Just as I said that, a little rodent thing, the beaver spirit underneath. He's like, yes, you can have that, but you have to lay the solid foundation first. Aw, look at him alone. He's alone doing it. It almost looks like he's knitting, doesn't it? It kind of looks like he's knitting. And he's like, you gotta lay that foundation alone and be independent and be quote unquote individual. He says quote unquote individual because, again, look at that union that is in the back of them, that the truth of who they really are, that togetherness. But there's this illusion of being alone, and from that individual space, that very physical individual space, you have to make your foundation. And from that place, from that foundation, you will come back together, right? God bless them. Now, it's funny that I said that because the eighth card is this equilibrium card, divine order. We know what that is. They're saying that everything will come back into divine order. Everything is already ordered, you know, as the higher up you go in the spheres, and so to speak, the more macroscopic of a view that you take of what's going on Earth, guys, the more you realize everything is working. Everything is just as it should be. Everything is moving together. There's synchronicity, right? Things make sense. Things down here that don't make sense, like senseless crimes, things we can't, you know, all these kinds of things. They make sense. And look at this divine order here. Look at this divine being holding the earth upon which we walk every day, just holding it into being, so to speak. I mean, all is well. That's what this is saying. All right. And that's your reading for today. Just kidding. You know, like they said, 8 cards. I worked through the 8 cards without actually looking at them yet. So this is kind of the energy that I was getting when I was laying the cards, guys. And so let's see. Oh, there's this card, this intuition card as well. Oh my God. Isn't it crazy? They kind of mirror each other. Look at that. It's interesting because we always hear about as above, so below, right? And we hear about moving up into higher spaces, right? So, and like we have the physical for a card that's not here right now, the physical. I guess you can think about us as being in the physical, and we are that card. But if we move up a little bit, we get into this non-physical etheric realm, right? Look at this. And then as we go up even further, we get into this space where we are now associated with the ball, and there's something even bigger holding us. And you can imagine as we get even higher up, and you know, and then so sometimes it's just like, you know, what can we do? We can't, going back to this idea of labeling, we can't really label things, right? See how they tie things in. We can't really label things because we don't know actually how many levels there are. It's kind of like this cute little selenite wand. Look at it. Maybe we are here, right? But if we move up, oh, can you guys see? Let me see. Okay, yeah. Maybe we're here. Boing, boing. If we move up to another level, yeah, it's non-physical. Yeah, and we move up from there, it's even more non-physical. And then, how do we know that? How far up does this go? We don't know. And so, going back to Spirit's original point, while we rely on labeling in the physical world because it's the way that we can stay connected with each other in a non-telepathic world, and the way we can connect and have conversations and discussions and negotiate situations and navigate societies that we create. And we have to remember that the labels, because they are labels, we have to know that they really don't mean anything. Sorry guys, I just saw this guy staring straight in my face. Like, I looked over and I'm like, whoa. I know that sounds strange, but Spirit uses everything on the table, okay? And I usually have that back there because it's cute. I bought it. But anyway, and today I was like, let me fix up back there. Let me just prop him up. And then as I was saying that, I straight looked over and he was like, bam. Like, there's something like bam right there. And for some reason I zoned in on his eyes, so I have no idea what that means. Maybe Spirit is gonna use that in the reading at some point, but that happened. All right, so let me pause. Let me see what else our guides want to say. Hold on. You know what's so crazy, guys? You know what's so crazy? I just paused, but it was like for 30 seconds. And as I was shuffling these cards to throw some more cards, I started to realize there are eyes all over this reading. You see, anyway. So we have his eyes. He's cute. Now he's like standing up. When I say he, I mean energy. The energy guides, spirit, whatever, illuminates things and creates certain feelings to get the message across, okay? And so now I see him like propping up, like, yeah, and he feels like a student, like associated with number 6 for some reason, just waiting to hear, right? And what he's saying, hold on, that's 6, all right, there it is. 6 eyes. 1, Canary Spirit's eye is right there. 2, one of Fox's eyes. 3, the Watcher's eyes. 4, 5, 6 eyes here on the table. And it's almost like each eye kind of, and then they're saying 7. Interesting. 7 of Hearts. Okay, they're saying the 7th eye is your own. All right, so thank you, Spirit. That's very cute. You know it, because I love toys. Anyway, very cute. So what they're trying to say to us is that we have to realize that every time we look out of our eyes, we are looking out of the universe that we have created as creator beings. We are creator beings standing in the same time, space, reality, according to what we believe, God knows, right? And what we're doing is we're interacting with other creator beings in some ways. I'm a little afraid because part of that is like, maybe, I don't know if to say maybe not every being we see as a creator. I don't know. Look, listen. But they're trying to drive home the idea that the eyes are you usually hear eyes are the window to the soul, but it's almost like the eyes are a window to another universe in a sense. That's what they're having me believe. And so they're saying that this is a call for us to get rid of certain beliefs about us, number 1, sharing the same realities, okay? So notice there are 4, this is the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles speaks of, in the traditional tarot, speaks of holding on to something, right? Could be anything, being a miser, holding on to financial resources, or it could be like holding on to a relationship, holding on to whatever. But here it's about holding on to ideas. They're saying in order to manifest, because that word came out, but in order to move forward in your personal journey, in order to quote unquote ascend, quote unquote move up in evolution, notice how a lot of quote unquotes are coming out. That's when you know we're dealing with higher energies, because they have to use quote unquote, because if they're talking to us about something that we see as absolute but from their perspective is not absolute, like ascension and like evolution, that's not absolute for them, but for us it is. It's a label and we need to use it. They're saying we need to use it because they just said that because it's the way that they're using our language to get across to us. So thank you guys, God bless, right? And so they're saying, in order to quote unquote ascend or quote unquote reach enlightenment, quote unquote move forward, whatever, they're saying you have to give up your ideas about things. And we see it very commonly about simple things like, a lot of people still don't believe in aliens, dude. I don't know where y'all are living. You need to get your minds open because they are here, okay? The fact that you're not anyway, God bless. But anyway, so a lot of it's as simple as getting people to get in with the idea that, hey, we're not alone in the universe. Why would we be alone in the universe? Look at our galaxy. Look at our Earth. It's so young in comparison. And we don't even know about multiple universes and all sorts of stuff. And so it's like, and now they're saying universes through each other's eyes. Like, dude, we just don't know. So we have to abandon our ideas about things. Use the labels, use the ideas to help us connect and have a jump off. But we have to within ourselves know that even those ideas are subject to change, subject to evolution. And it's funny, as I'm saying this, I'm feeling like my nose wants to bleed. Not really, that's just the energy that is impressing itself upon me. And it's like, I'm wondering why. And as I'm saying that, it's like my nose bleeding and I'm seeing cities and universes, and I almost said universities, yes, flowing from my nose, the blood. And as I'm trying to think about it, the way that the message they're getting across is that we don't even know who and what we are and where we are. So I've heard, like, for example, in that image that they're giving us, it's like all of our knowledge and all of our societies and earth and this, we're nothing but a little like particle in what a much larger being would consider to be his or her blood bleeding from the nose area, right? It's like, oh wait, what? Yeah, so it's kind of like the idea that, yeah, have you ever heard of that idea that the universe is shaped like a man? Has anyone ever heard that? I don't know, I've heard that somewhere. Through some kind of text or ideology. Think of it that kind of like that way. I'm not saying they're confirming that or anything, but they're trying to get us to bend our minds and to think that we tend to think of ourselves as the end all and be all because we're tricked into this idea of a physical reality, right? And tricked into, a lot of times there's hubris involved, right? But they're saying that we actually don't know what we are and who we are and where we are. Where are we? Are we, are we in some man-shaped universe? Are we just a particle on a leaf of some other somewhere? And so they're saying that even though you may not be able to verify these things, they're useful in stretching your mind. It's kind of like those, you guys, have you heard of a koan? Now I know I'm going to screw this up, so let me look at it because I'm trying to remember. It's like a Buddhist puzzle, so to speak, where hold on, let me not screw that up. Let me just look for it. Thanks, Wikipedia, getting straight to the point. So according to Wikipedia, who will always probably say it a little better than me articulately, a koan, Koan, is a story, dialogue, question, or statement which is used in Zen practice to provoke the great doubt and to practice or test a student's progress in Zen. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you listeners, I know a lot of you are very well practiced in a lot of these things, so you might be like, yeah, I totally know what that is, and you might be able to provide even more information. Please do feel free to make use of the comment boxes. We're all learning, right? So koans are those kinds of statements that one would say to another, and you would kind of have to defend or think about, or there's no answer to it in a sense. It's just designed to get you thinking. A famous kind of thought about that we have in the English language is, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it fall, did it make a sound? Did it still make a sound, right? You're like, well, yeah, but then it's subjective, and it's kind of, and then some koans just go even deeper where you're like, right? The idea is not to answer it. The idea is to kind of expand your mind. And so Spirit is coming to us today to talk about, I guess today's topic is labels, right? But they come to kind of, help us to understand the many, 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 many labels that we work with in the world. And while we do need them, we do have to take this middle course, so to speak, because we have to understand that the very things that we use to get by in the world are very limited, and we can't allow those things to move beyond the tool status and into becoming limiting behavior. Remember how I told you guys, I guess it was some readings ago, I can't remember which one, and they were talking about the great mystery and how, maybe it was that one, the mystery, the daily reading on mystery, and they were mentioning how you can keep working throughout your life to get to this quote-unquote place of enlightenment, getting to the very heart of everything. And then once you get to that place, it's like, what's next? What's after that? No one knows. But the reason why they're bringing that story up here is because they want to remind you that as you start to become more enlightened, it's very typical that you will stop talking about it. You will stop trying to teach others. You will stop trying to whatever. And the reason why is because you start touching a realm of, you're getting into a space where certain things just can't be conveyed anymore. It becomes fully experiential, fully intuitive. You have to start feeling it. A lot of you may already be in this space with many things, right? Where you have this amazing experience. It's not only completely using your senses, but it's also using other senses, where light starts to have certain meanings, where this color transmits this, where you have a quick flash, like you could look off to the corner of your eye because you saw something like that, and then for some reason a message is conveyed through that, and it carries on throughout the whole day. Things like that. Those are new ways of carrying information. I'm seeing B Spirit, like, yeah, B Spirit is our messenger today. Look at him really being a messenger. Look at him working with all these different forms of language, and intelligence is what they're saying. Different forms of intelligence. How cute. I'm seeing his little butt here with the white for some reason, but it's cute. He dips into these different forms of intelligence, but he's look at how he's built with all these little cogs and stuff. He's built to be able to dip into all these different forms of intelligence, these different forms of information transmissions. And that being said, you can't limit yourself with labels. It's just impossible. So they're saying today that moving forward, you do have to, if you really want to open up to higher aspects and different forms of experience that are many times much more profound, then you have to start letting go of labels. Now, before I continue with something that I want to talk about, I want to let you guys also know that they were saying that, like, I continue what I was just saying, when you have those kinds of experiences and then you go to tell your friend, you want to be like, oh my God, I just had the craziest experience. You ever notice how sometimes you stop and you're like, I'll let it go, because it's too much to talk about. And then you realize that even trying to talk about that and communicate the exact feeling to your friend in a way that would have any value for them and that would open you up and make you feel like you've actually feel fulfilled in connecting that information, it would be meaningless, because you can't. They have to experience it for themselves, all right? And that's when you start to get to different levels of information and, as I said earlier, intelligence and intuition and this and that, right? Now, the next thing I wanted to say, is that I kind of knew, like, when that commentary about the masculine and feminine came through, that it would probably only be for that part, because now I feel like we're getting into the main message, which is about the labels and about taking ourselves to another level of understanding. Look at this. And they're saying which would in turn help you to better understand each other and, you know, maybe hopefully transform this feeling of imprisonment. But look, the tower. We already have the death card. Look at that. Not the death card. See, it looks like the death card, right? In this case, it's the Four of Pentacles holding on to stuff, but we have the death card coming in as well to take away those ideas. Once that happens, it can be very much like a paradigm shift for a lot of us. And as I'm saying that, I'm hearing some of your spirits like, yeah, dude, I've had that in my life. Yeah, and that's why I'm on this spiritual path. Some of you have been on this spiritual path for a long time. And some of you are not necessarily on the spiritual path because of twin flame resistance is the word that wants to come out. Twin flame resistance. Wow, get it, God. You've just been on your path to enlightenment for, quote unquote, right, for a while. I'm seeing that you've had these many tower moments. These are ideological shifts in occurrence, they're saying. And I feel that for a lot of you, you've had time shifts because of that. A lot of you have experienced what we would say is abnormal phenomena, like time shifting, reality shifting, communication with ETs, with astral whatevers, all sorts of stuff. And I feel that you're more here, a lot of you, constantly through these communiques, constantly through these abnormal things that now seem to be marking your daily life, you're coming into connection with a lot of information, and you're constantly receiving these things from this non-physical world and then pulling it into your physical to chomp on it, to work through it, to understand it. And that's why a lot of you are walking, I almost said working, okay, I did say working. That's what I'm supposed to say, I guess. Walking, working, work it, right? Walking/working this hermit's path. And as you uncover things, you're distilling. There's a distillation. It's like, look at this. As you chip away in this information that was received from non-physical through your different forms of intelligence, your intuition and stuff, notice how there's these cute little things there. But sometimes you have to chip those things out, right? Like this. Look at the hermit. going and throwing out this serpent, throwing out these old ideas, throwing out these fears, throwing out these whatever it is, but very much taking a strong seeker attitude. Guys, the spiritual path is strength. It's one that requires strength. Okay? It's almost like a strength. You can see that strength here in this dog. That strength is not here to BS. That strength knows that it's not, this isn't its first rodeo in this lifetime. This is an eternal being working through stuff, right? Look at this Hermit card. This Hermit card was once this young man on this Chariot card. I'm ready. Look at him. I'm ready for this spiritual service. I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to do whatever, the fasting, the this, the that, the up, down, in line, right? You know, the twins, whatever, all this stuff. The wandering the desert for however many years, the asceticism, he did all that. And now look at him now as an older man, you know, still here. They're also saying don't disprove, or sorry. They're saying they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So some of the things I just mentioned, like I'm assuming maybe asceticism is something maybe that would be more of a hermit's path, they're saying. What else? And they're saying, yes, but they are saying, they're validating that while the things like the juicing and the cleanses and this and that are also necessary, they're saying a lot of those are fads. Okay, I needed to pull a card. A lot of those things are fads. So don't get caught up. You see this devil card? Don't get caught up in a lot of the fads about, sorry, they're so funny. The fads along this path, right? They're saying that then they bring us back over to here. Like, have those things. You know, if you need to do yoga for however many years, if you need to do the fasting and the juicing and the cleansing, and if you need to do whatever it is, and the writing letters and burning them and all that, sure, they all have their tools. But they're saying don't get so behind it that it becomes your end all and be all, and be mindful when you're espousing things. If you're espousing things, you should espouse to help people at that time, but always acknowledge to yourself and to them that even you are on your path, and you can change your mind and you change your methods as your soul calls for, right? And so be like the hermit. The hermit at one time used to use this tool, whatever it is. But he sees that it's no longer needed now, and guided by his inner light, he's able to release it, whatever it is. And I do see that sometimes those are physical relationships. I'm seeing as he's leaving this village with these two sides here. But yeah, anyway, that's what Spirit is saying so far. Okay, guys. So, they're telling me Mickey Mouse now, okay? The reason why they're telling me that is because... Oh, thanks, Spirit. The reason why they're telling me that is because, yesterday we did a talk on, and that's them talking through me now. We did a talk on, what was it? Distractions, right? See, I just got distracted on distractions. Unholy distractions is what they're calling. And we wanted you to better understand who you are and why you've been asked to come to this planet. And yes, we are channeling now in a greater way. So we asked you to come to this planet to place your feet firmly on the ground and to better understand who you are as creator beings. But you have to understand that means that you don't have to leave everything out of the equation for yourselves. You can ask to have more abilities. You can ask to have more spices thrown into your life, if you will. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that you are the only one traveling in this spacesuit, if you will. And so you have to understand better what the mechanisms are of those spacesuits. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to pause because I feel like they want to give you more of a channeled experience. So I'm going to pause, kind of get myself into that zone, and then I'll have them come through and give you whatever it is they want to talk about. I have no idea because I will probably not remember, which is pretty hard to relinquish that, you know. But anyway, hold on, let me pause. Okay, guys, so I have been kind of talking with them because I do believe that they do want to do some channeling, deeper channeling maybe in the future. And so today we'll see. I've created a space for them to come in with deeper messages. So we'll see if that happens because I still have to practice. But anyway, we'll continue. They want to talk a little bit about why we've come onto Earth, so to speak. They keep saying why we've come here today. So we'll see what they have to say about that. And I'll just start off reading as normal, where it's a lighter form of channeling. Okay, guys, so another message that's coming through right now in these cards is a commentary on how to work with these other intelligences or these other forms of being, these other spirits, these other, even other physical forms of being. Now, for example, with channeling, right? Channeling is another form of interconnectedness, they're saying. And they're saying that when they're saying that a lot of us want to move, quote unquote, move up and spiritually and thus experientially. We want to experience things. We want to like meet other beings. We want to do this. We want to become part of the larger, not global, but part of the larger galactic community and all of that. And so they're saying that, for example, channeling is one way that we can do that here on Earth. But they're also acknowledging the very real ramifications of that. So, for example, we see peacock spirit and fox spirit together, right? So now here they're gently lending themselves to another message. They're not a couple here. Here they are two different, kinds of beings. So here we have a human species. For us, we need to start learning how to go inward, work on ourselves so we can project outward, see more clearly. And then we have these other beings out in existence. They're saying that in order for us to best see these other beings, we must best see ourselves. And we know they've been going on about that, going inward, working through ourselves, working with ourselves, getting to those core wounds, getting a solid foundation. Thanks, Beaver Spirit. God bless. Beaver Spirit is coming. He's like, yep, no problem. Get that foundation. And they're saying that from that foundation, you're able to finally see what's actually in front of you. Sometimes through our unhealed wounds, we may see another being, for example, on what we would term an extraterrestrial, whether they're not in the physical realm, like we could physically touch them, or in the non-physical astral realm, where we perceive of them. Through our own fear, we may see this, but actuality, they're this. Do you see what I mean? Blink, 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 blink. And what they're trying to say is, remember this, I talked earlier about how this in that other message that came through where this was the feminine and masculine, this was looking like an imprisonment. Well, here, where this is the human species and this is that non-human species in the physical or non-physical that we would like to start to communicate with and be in connection with as we move forward as a species and as an individual, they're showing us that we will no longer necessarily be able to sing our own song. Yes, we will be able to sing our own song, our own expression, but what they're showing is you'll also have to work together with other beings. And when you work together with other beings, it opens you up to different kinds of experiences. For example, one way that many of you may already work with other beings is through astral projection, traveling, right? Also through channeling. And for those of you who do that, you may soon find out, any one of those things, you may soon find out that when you really start to get into that and have these real experiences with these other beings, you can't just relate to them as you would a human being. For example, channeling, what does that mean? It means receiving information in a telepathic way, to varying degrees. So I channel generally, and I use my intuition on these calls, but I do feel like it is possible for me to channel even deeper, where they actually do get in there, and I don't say get in there because that doesn't mean they're jumping in my body or anything like that, but they actually assume more control over my consciousness. They give me more of a download, whatever it is the process is. It's more, it's one where it's more intense, and I may take more of a step back. So we have to understand that when we start doing that kind of really getting what we wish, which is to really connect with each other, they're saying that yes, sweet results await. Yes, there are many new forms of connection and that you can have, new friends, new this and that, but they also say you have to realize that it does come with sometimes uncomfortable feelings, like channeling. Some people, if you have issues with giving up control and whatnot to varying degrees, it even this light channeling would seem like, and God forbid, taking more of a deeper form of channeling, also like automatic writing, things like that. So they're asking us to understand more what it is that we are asking for when we are asking to move up and to ascend and to this and that and to become part of the galactic community. And because it's kind of like how, some of you may live in a small town and somewhere in the Midwest or just whatever, completely different to New York City, right? And, when we have people from each side, New York City all the way down to some small town somewhere in the United States, going to the other place, it's uncomfortable for both because it's so different. But it doesn't mean it can't be done, and it doesn't mean that beauty can't be had. It doesn't mean that friendships can't be had, but they're asking you to recognize the reality of it. They're saying that they watch over us. There's so many words want to come out. I was going to say our beings in the sky, our cousins, our, these people who want to connect with us, quote unquote ETs, of course, the ones who, using our discernment, we feel comfortable around, right? They're in the light, right? Just like any human being, other beings can have light and dark aspects, right? We hope, right? That they exercise caution. But that being said, they watch us, they understand us, they respect our choices. They're saying that for those of us who would love to work with you, we want you to take that step in with us. We want you to get to know us. We want to get to know you as well. I'm seeing these beautiful hearts, and they're saying that we're not going to just be a novelty act. We're going to become cousins. We're going to become star friends and star allies. And so that being said, we hope for a world one way world. Wow, we hope for a world where there's unity, right? Where you can look on the street and see all of us walking around together, things like that, where it's just more open. It's a more open community. Trust is established. Foundations are built. There's no more fear, because look here, that to me looks like fear of each other, right? They see that you have choices. They want you to recognize your choices and to exercise caution when you're dealing with people from outside of the earth continuum, so to speak, because like they're saying, not every human being is to be trusted. Not every non-human species person is to be trusted. And whether it's in a physical or in a non-physical, you have to practice your discernment. That's how it is. And you're going to have to do that because things are going to start to be opened up in the decades to come. Disclosure is going to happen at some point or not, or the other. A lot of you are already in contact, right? I mean, can you imagine people in the 1950s were trying to find out about extraterrestrials, guys? Let's look. As early as the 20s, they were thinking about seances, and everyone was on ghosts. And is this real? And I mean, ghosts. These are that's like nothing compared to this, right? So imagine sometimes so the lesson they're saying is sometimes we ask for things, but we're not ready for it. And help us get ready for that kind of communion, that kind of connection, that kind of one world opening of consciousness. You have to build a foundation for yourself, and that means not only going inside and healing core wounds so that we can be on a solid foundation from which to project as real as possible onto the outside world, number one. But number two, also to start to really think about what your ideologies are, and those will change as you heal yourself, they're saying. And then through that, you'll be able to have better discernment, and you will go beyond just the physical. You'll look into the eyes and see the universe that these other beings come from, the thought patterns, the mindsets. You'll have these advanced abilities. I'm seeing these advanced abilities just like they have, to look at you and to see where you've been, and to where, friend or foe, and have discernment. They'll also see that you'll also be able to see that they come in peace. They want to be friends. They want to be invited to the cookout, things like that. Look, if you're curious and what are teenage whatever's, ETs or whatever, what are they like? What are the babies like? What are the inquisitive ones like? You don't think that there are other people who are just as fascinated about us as we are of them? You don't think there are other beings somewhere collecting memorabilia from Earth, all sorts of craziness, right? So they're saying that be open to those possibilities, and also be open to possibilities that that's not the case, and that you might encounter a war mongering race or culture from outside of human existence. But they're saying that's the risk you take, just like that's the risk you take when you travel here on your own planet. And so they're asking you to still exercise good judgment, but you'll be applying it on a more global scale, a more interplanetary scale. And that's the kind of place we're going into. They want you to be a little bit more wishy-washy, a little bit more flexible about the things that you're hearing from your own government. They're saying not only from your own government, but just from mainstream media that circulates certain ideas that may not necessarily be true. I'm seeing some real funneling through mainstream media, like to create an atmosphere of certain things, of certain feelings, where certain beings or certain ways of life, whether we know it's attached to a being or not, are valorized, where others are put down, right? And we see our world is a little topsy-turvy already with the way we treat our nurses, our teachers, things like that, people who are very, very important to the functioning of society and for free thought and self-care, things like that. They're kind of put down in lieu of making money, through pharmacology, agribusiness, all these things. So they're asking you to be better discerners. They're also asking you to think for yourself and not to be afraid to cut off communication with things that make you uncomfortable. But the best way to avoid becoming spooked every minute by something is to build a solid foundation for yourself, to get an idea of what it is that you're looking forward to having in your life, right? So all sorts of stuff, guys. Sorry, today's video may be a little choppy because I had to edit it, because I think that they really wanted to do some channeling today, like deeper channeling, but I wasn't ready. So, I want to be more of in a ready state of mind. And then plus, guys, like I told you, my MacBook Air, God bless it, just does not have much space. So I want to make sure that I shoot a video where I don't have to edit too much, because it just adds more space that I need. And if there's not space in a computer, I can't work in my computer, and then a video gets shelved until I can find another computer. So anyway, we love our angels and guides and our beings that want to help us. Anyway, so they're showing me images of the new earth here, and the new earth, they're saying, is one where, yes, there will be beings, but they're saying that the interaction with us will be largely non-physical at that time as well. So I'm getting the new earth, I'm getting a very 56 years from now kind of feeling. I'm getting 56 years from now. Some of us are like, aw, I won't be here, right? Right? But you never know, you will be here in some way, right? And we still have to work towards grounding that reality. But I'm seeing here. Ooh. Oh, okay. I'm seeing here a new global leader, they're saying, will rise up, I believe in how many years? They're saying 48 to 50 years. But they're saying his prowess will be unmatched. But to me, prowess sounds like a negative term, but I don't really know. Let me see what else they're saying. They're saying this is in the realm of consciousness. It hasn't yet come to pass, but there will be a new global leader. the potential is ready. The potential right now is ripe for a new global leader in global, guys, not country, national leader, global. And I'm seeing it's a male. They're saying he's in extraterrestrial form in it's interesting. Hold on, let me pause, let me get this fully. They're saying, I'm just gonna say whatever they say. They're saying he's extraterrestrial in origin and he's parasitic in form. So it's almost like this person 40 to 50 years time, and I got 56 as well. I don't know if that's his age or 56 years from now, but in 40 to 50 years from now, this person will open us up onto the global stage as the leader of Earth, so to speak. They say they don't even like to use the word leader. They want to say representative, and they're saying natural born representative. So maybe that has something to do with it. Yes, they're saying yes. You see that? We said natural. We want to hear natural born representative of mankind, but they're saying he's extraterrestrial in origin. And he's parasitic. So they're saying it's a little bit of a warning. So, I mean, hey, I don't know if I'll be around at that time, but, God bless. But they're saying to watch out for that, because when they're saying when you start to elect your new leaders, however this person comes into being, you want to make sure that they are of the right caliber to lead you, because they're saying, look at how it is already on Earth with the different nations and how there are leaders who are just terrible, right? But they're saying that imagine leading a whole global population and in interacting with interplanetary species. You want somebody who can speak for you. And so they're saying they would want a natural born, it's not to say it's a prerequisite, but in the in the global community, that may be looked upon as suspicious, because they can see that being that is not natural born in mankind, whatever that means, whatever it's going to mean in 40 to 50 years time. They're saying nature is a funny thing. They're saying nature is a funny thing. Nature, quote unquote, right? As we label it, it's a funny thing. They're saying because as easily as we look at each other and we see each other as humans, they're looking at us and saying that most of us don't even originate from this planet, and most of us don't even really acknowledge an earthly origin if we were to be asked, where are you from? Even they're saying some of you who are like, I'm from the Pleiades, or I'm from this and I'm from that, you don't even claim Earth. Now they're saying if you don't even claim Earth, but yet you're trying to lead the entire planet into an age of interplanetary connection, what does that say? And then the question that begs answering is, who are you representing? Who are you really representing? Are you really representing another race and another species? So they're saying that, because I'm wondering, is that this person, so when they say natural born, I don't know if they're saying that this person obviously may be alive by now, obviously, but maybe they came through a human person, whatnot. But just like how some of us will say, I'm not from Earth, I'm from blah, 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 and you know it to be true, I'm from this star system, this person may be a representative. And they're saying, because I'm seeing these eyes flashing, they're saying that's going to be kind of a top secret kind of thing. So, interesting. Why through this channel, right? why today? But God bless. I just give the messages. They're saying this message comes through here, but it also comes through other places as well. And because obviously that's just how things are. So I guess, guys, just be mindful. Long story short, they're saying discernment is going to be very, 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 very important as we move forward. So what today what today for us is known as having discernment in our relationships, so that we can know who's cheating, who's this, who's a good friend, blah, 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 is going to be tomorrow's having discernment with who is leading your population, your planet, right? And they're saying that could make a big difference between the promulgation of a slave planet within the entire intergalactic interplanetary community, and what could be a safe haven for other, or what could be a safe haven for other beings from other places? Could this become a refugee planet, right? Could it just become a vacation planet? Like, what is this planet going to become? And they're saying these are issues of tomorrow. And so, and they're saying we've been through it, all of our planets have been through it, things like that, but they're saying it starts with you having illumination about yourself, and knowing how powerful you are as creator beings, and how you could sway and how you could create different options. Because I'm seeing this person's face. Look at the person. I don't know if you can see it, but it almost like, look at that. It looks like a little face right there. They're saying that's a potential. That is a potential. This person, even if he is born today already, because 40 to 50 years, I mean, come on, like that man's probably 5 right now or something. They're saying that those things can come to pass based on the choices. Holy moles, look at it. Based on the choices that we make today. And they're saying love should be central, not fear. You shouldn't be fearing thy neighbor. And they're saying a lot of us fear ourselves. Once you get over the fear of yourself, it will become much easier to get over the fear of your neighbor, they're saying. And they're saying that they're helping a lot. They're helping a lot. And they're saying use the experiences of today with our international leaders and all that stuff, and how they crazy. And, you know, the decisions they make, things that they do. Look at it. They're saying look at it with a fine-tooth comb. And separate the wheat from the chaff. You don't want to get to this place, guys, where, remember when Bush, I mean, I don't know, God bless you guys, what your political affiliations are, and that's your business. I don't really care. But, you know, that being said, remember when, not Bush, Trump won the presidency? Yeah, they're saying that's it. Tell it. They're saying that's it. That's exactly the point I'm going to make. They're saying they support it. Yeah, remember when Trump won the presidency and that was a litmus test. You know, he won the presidency. Personally, I don't affiliate, okay? But that's my personal, you know. But he won the presidency, and it's almost like it was a wall. That was a fact that happened. Now, we all know that how he won is up for suspicion. But the fact is that you won, and from that place, everybody in the world, like, it's almost like, excuse the language, but shit hit the fan. And it's a litmus test, because the question is, how did you choose to react to that? A lot of businesses started stopping customers from coming. Friends for decades fell out of step with each other. People were like, you're not allowed in my house anymore. Like, you have to get to a point, 0 point gravity, where you recognize stuff going outside of you, and you take the path of love. Take the path of love. And I'm not saying like, oh, well, you know, some of you, you know, you did wrong. But you have to ask yourself, what am I allowing to get me out of a place of love? You know, that's on a bigger scale. But, you know, we see that in our houses every day, when we hear stories about families putting out their children of age 20, like after raising a damn kid for 20 years, because the child is like, I'm homosexual, or I don't identify with my gender, things like that. And it's not to minimize the stress and discomfort that you feel about having somebody flip the script on you like that, but the fact is that you're allowing all these things to get you out of a place of love, and you're then becoming distracted from the one path you should be going, which is one for self-love and allowing for love for other people. And then you are turning around and creating negative events for other people in their lives. You know, you throw somebody out of your house, you're condemning them to the streets. Why? Because you want to keep your friends at church happy, or you need, instead of you trying to work through your own stuff and asking God or yourself how to be loving and this and that and what you should do, you're like throwing somebody else in physically, for sure, condemning them to not being protected, right? And so we have to watch ourselves, because today these very real earth issues are going to give way to tomorrow's even bigger earth issues on the global stage. And you know, what kind of person you are going to be tomorrow when you start having people and beings who don't even look like you. You're going to have phenomena that is uncomfortable. It's new for you, like telepathy, things like that. And what are you going to do? How will you live in that kind of world? And you don't want to keep being in a space of not having love. And so it's being on earth is going to be a journey for a lot of us, and especially a lot of us who are trying to ground these new earth energies into the earth. Tolerance, not even just tolerance, just self-love, moving in to yourself, looking at your core wounds so that you can be cute like peacock spirit and project out onto the world a place of greater truth and greater vision, right? Greater compassion. Easier said than done, guys, but you know, we didn't come to earth to rest on our laurels. We came to learn, and this is what it is. And time is kind of the essence at this time. You hear everybody talking about these decades as being very important for us, and that's right. Having a remix, that's right. Yeah, that's right, because we are going to be opening up onto the global community and in a bigger way. Right now it's kind of just like individual people having experiences, sharing about it, but it's going to change, right? Now, over here we have creation and we have vitality, but here I'm seeing the earth. Here on the left, this is like the earth. Right now it's tumultuous. There are a lot of energies going on. I don't want to say a storm, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the furnace, right? Until things settle down again, and this new earth, this new vibration, this new foundation has been set, and things are kind of reset and moving forward, and right. But right now we're in this time, and if you're alive at this time, this is the time that you wanted to be alive. This is a ripe time to be alive. Many people want to get in, and many people want to get out, because you know what I mean. I heard it said once that they said, oops, sorry, dropped something. I heard it said on TV once that it's very common for people who were adults maybe in their 40s, 50s, in the 1950s already, or even younger. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. Where they were like, one day I woke up and the world was just changed, you know. Then we had this technology. People were having different things. Women were working outside the house. It was just a different lifetime altogether, right? And, you know, a lot of that happened because people started knowing their worth and standing up. But anyway, I feel that what's going to be happening is going to be something like that. It's a real shift as well. The shift is going to happen. And a lot of us who, you know, we're like, whoa, I remember the other day I was using a flip phone, or I had a beeper or a pager, and now look at this. It's going to be one of those things. It's going to be a boost. It's a boost. And so right now it's about laying the foundation. And, you know, we have people in place. They're saying people in place like in the tech industries. We have watchdogs being born every day, things like that. But that's why they're coming through on my channel, to let you guys know that there's also a reason to be aware on an individual level. They're saying shopping habits. Start curbing that, they're saying. Aww. 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 Can I just like mourn for just 1 second? But Amazon. And they're like, no. They're saying shopping is going to get you in trouble. Because they're saying the shopping is out of control, and it's creating too much of an imbalance around the world for a lot of people, right? Oh, whoa, 2 cards came out. All right, I had the beautiful card, right? Take the lead, they're saying. And with everything, with your own life. But look what they said. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Thank you. With the shopping, they're saying, take the lead, make your own stuff. Look, there's like, get back to agrarian in some way. I mean, we're not saying back in the, you know, dark ages and stuff, but get back to growing your own foods, making your own jewelry, making your own clothing, and revel in the creativity that other people have. Barter things, give things away. They're saying create. This is new world energy, and it looks like it's off the page, that it's like, so they're saying create your own stuff. Get ready. Now is a lucky time. Aw, look at these babies. Oh my God. Guys, how can I do the reading when they're so cute? Oh my gosh. Aw. He's like, is that a tail? Oh, cute. They're saying now is a lucky time because you guys have this knowledge. You're being given this knowledge. Create for the kids coming in. Show them what they can do. And not just to see something online and then go buy it. And then meanwhile, someone out in China is dying just to make your damn party beads for Mardi Gras, you know, like things like that. They're saying Spirit has a plan. Lay a solid foundation. Work on yourselves individually. Move inward, and then from inward move outward. Start to create your own things. Start to do your own things. Get yourself together, because when you get into a more interplanetary mindset, you'll start to see that things will get smaller and more decentralized at the lower levels, you know, more communities, and these communities build up and they connect, and then there are larger communities building up and connect, and then you have this interplanetary existence. But they're saying that it's going to be more open as well, because when you have your intuition set, you can connect with whatever you want from your living room, right? The government isn't gonna stop you from being able to do that, no matter what they're trying to do, right? So it's just a different world that we're moving towards, guys. And interesting that they come through with this today. God bless them. Oh, freedom is yours. Look at that, 33. You know, I'm getting a really Jesus feeling here. Freedom is yours. I think Jesus and the energy that, you know, some of us have heard is referred to as Sananda, you know, which was before, you know, we came into this idea of Jesus and this and that, right? His energy is that Christ consciousness, and he's releasing us. He's saying freedom is yours. They're saying freedom is yours to do as you will. And they're showing me now that just as freedom is ours to do, and he's saying, just as freedom is ours to do as we will, they're showing me that there are others who have negative intentions, and freedom is theirs to do as they will as well. And so I'm just seeing more. I don't want to give in to, I'm not espousing because I haven't done the research, but I am seeing a reptilian kind of look here. So they're saying freedom is theirs to do as they will as well. And they're saying the best thing that you can do is give it up to God. Lay it down. Notice they didn't even put it on here. They maybe put it here. Yeah, they said give it up to God and let God, all that is, reshuffle. And he's saying that the way that you do that is through working through the self manifestation. Work on those core wounds. It's going to be your number one place. Work on those core wounds. Lay the solid foundation. Create a better image of the world that you're in, where you can see better truth. From that truth, you'll have better discernment. You'll be in touch with yourself, and you will start to create better circumstances for yourself. And in the physical, do so as well. Get off the shopping, they're saying. Grow your own shit, because when you keep relying and buying all these, I mean, I'm still gonna buy my cards, but anyway, when you keep, you know, they're saying shopping in overdrive, things that don't really, you know, like, yeah, start to ask yourself if you could do without that. Can you do without that? They're bringing through microchips. What about microchipping? Hold on. They're saying, that's all they're saying, like, that is another can of worms. And the way I'm feeling it, it's like, the energy, if I want to put words to it, is like, holy mother of effing God. That's another channel altogether. They don't even, yeah, so, hold on. Microchipping. They're saying that yesterday, oh look, the ants, oh, they have the microchips. Oh my God, guys. They're saying on the 3D that the consumerism, they're saying, that is microchipping. They're labeling it as consumerism. Okay. The consumerism that is microchipping, I'm hearing they're saying is a fatality of something on the one hand. It's the death of something on the one hand, whether it's freedom or whatnot. But they're saying that even that is like doing this sacred dance for us, you know, sacred contracts, working through things like freedom, these themes, because we still have sacred contracts, but we still have freedom of choice. So that's what's going on here. But look at the card that comes out. Spirit has your back from the higher level. And they're saying if you can get yourself into a place of proper discernment through your healing your core wounds and working on these deep-seated issues of unlovability, undeservability, low self-worth, not being enough, abandonment, rejection, things like that. When you work on those things, Spirit is able to better guide you because you're no longer being guided so much by your fears, which are emanations of these unhealed core wounds. Right? And that's right next to the Spirit has a plan. There's a plan for everything, they're saying, but many plans are not set in stone. We can still, it's like we're on this ship and we're heading straight there, but we can together collectively create a society for ourselves. And they're like, well, as Gandhi said, be the peace you want to see in the world. Think about it. What do you want to be known as or in the greater intergalactic community? What do you want to be known as? What do you want what's the word? Humanity to be known as? I'm also hearing the umbilical cord is cut. Interesting. Oh, and look, this and that are true. The umbilical cord is cut in the sense that you guys, us, you guys are going to have to start thinking for yourselves, living for yourselves, being for yourselves, eating for yourselves, feeling for yourselves, because once that umbilical cord is cut, and once that treaty, whatever that treaty is that we always hear about, that the non-intervention clause, whatever that is, when that's up, we are going to be exposed, and we have to have a firm foundation at the individual level. Get yourself into spiritual centers, so to speak. Spiritual centers, they're saying, that are grounded in all that is, in freedom, personal choice, protection. They're saying you'll know these spiritual centers because you know what? They're saying they'll be the best of all worlds. There will be spiritual centers where the integrity is grounded, or the spirituality is grounded in integrity, transparency, openness, but it's also going to be community based, where it's about people pitching in and helping each other, growing vegetables, having artisans, things like that. So things will be right-sided up in these spiritual centers. Teachers will be lauded, they will be respected, but teachers will also have a beautiful relationship with the students that they're teaching, and they're also, thank you, Spirit, they're also learning from. So it'll be hierarchical in a sense, but it won't be hierarchical at its base. There's this idea of flexibility. People will be loving each other. It's going to be a safe space. These are the mini communities that are going to be starting to populate this new earth. And so they're saying that those are our best defenses, so to speak. So to these negative people on earth still, negative politics, interplanetary visitors, things like that, influences, and the spirituality, will also be inclusive, right? It's inclusive, and inclusive, like, for example, somebody who has issues or whatever sort, yes, when they go to get this help, it won't just be like, take these 2 pills. No, it's going to be like, well, it could even be like, let's look at past lifetimes, tell me about your eating habits, tell me about this, tell me talk therapy, it's all like all encompassing. So anyway, that's what they're saying. I was just thinking to myself, I'm sorry guys if I'm all over the place today, because it's a lot of energy that's presenting itself, and you guys know I just do the channeling. And it's funny because the next card is time for a deep dive, because I was like, wow, it's a lot. And they're like, yeah, we get in there. And they're saying, watch your words, because I don't, anyway, I don't want to like seem all over the place, but it's just what's coming through. All right, anything? They're saying appliances will be at an all-time high. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Is that how we get to synthesizers one day, like on next gen? I don't know. But they're saying appliances will be coming in handy, like in the kitchen, things like that. They're saying, oh. All right. Wait, interesting. Hold on. Oops. Interesting. Because they said Yes, they said that appliances will be at an all-time high, of course, right? Because we love it, and I love it. I love my espresso machines and things. And they're saying, but at the same time, the card surrender now jumped out, and in fact, it keeps wanting to come off. So I don't know. Okay, got it. I don't know. I don't know if they're saying to surrender it, or it's okay to use it, or whatever it is. Use your own distinction, but it's here and it wants to get off. God bless it. But they're saying be playful, have fun, create things again. So for example, instead of using a bread machine, try making your own bread. Of course, there's like, well, there might be bakeries, yes, but remember, they're also saying get back down to business. Try, but have fun with it. Like, it doesn't mean you have to start churning your own butter and all that. It's not even that serious. But they're saying have fun with doing these things that you rely on appliances for. But of course, if you want some appliances, you can as well. But they're saying that the abundant universe will provide. They're saying be mindful of what it is that you're using, and just trust that in God's time, with our new societies that pop up, that if you have a need, it will be provided for. Like, oh, I wish I had fresh butter. Oh, shoot, just so happens that someone on the next block, they like to make their own butter, or they do have they do raw dairy, or just whatever. You get my point. If you've ever lived in Santa Monica, that's a real thing. Okay. Farmers markets, guys. Farmers markets. They're saying watch and wait. Watch and wait for these ideas of yours to come into being. They're saying a lot of us haven't even been activated yet for the roles that we're going to be playing inside of the new earth. Now, the new earth is just a vibrational shift, right? We're going to be coexisting with people who are still in the old paradigm, but there will be more centers, more things. You'll move in different places. And so I'm being shown that if you're on these calls, chances are, and if you're still with me, thank you. Chances are that even if you're like, well, what can I do? These are interesting. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing yet. You're getting tickled right now with ideas. But you may end up, I'm seeing somebody here listening, you might be doing something with the post office, something postal related. So, part of the community, but upgrading it a bit, doing something that is going to be in line with the post office, or finding different ways or new ways to transfer messages, right? I'm just seeing that. So they're saying watch and wait as these new foundations start to get into place, because right now people were getting into place, right? We're getting into place. People are opening businesses. You're getting your spiritual service. You're having initiations. You're giving birth, guys, to people who are going to further ground, people who are going to rise up and become our next community leaders. We just, we're in a really lovely time right now. So it's like, turn your knowledge into wisdom. All this stuff that you've been gathering through your relationships and the foibles and the pain, like, learn the lessons, keep going, lessons that are going to make you turn inward and heal yourselves. All right, so it's really interesting. Oh my gosh, I can keep going, but I don't really have that much time on my this space. So anyway, they're saying the last two cards, I'll cut it off here. A rebirth is assured. So, guys, we started off this call talking about labeling. This is them talking, by the way. We started off this call talking about labeling. And then we moved into channeling. And a disbursement of information was given. Whether or not you're going to be able to relate to these messages is going to be about your vibrational frequency and how ready you are to receive those messages in the heart space. Let Spirit be your guide. We're here to work for you and along with you. And if it's something that you find is of interest to you, you can continue to tune in and find it within yourself to walk the path that you've set forward for yourself. Okay. Oh, thank you. They just popped in to channel that. But I also want to say, oh man, they said something else and I totally forgot it. Something about if it's something that you guys are interested in, you're gonna have to find the time. They're saying, I'm seeing this here. You're gonna have to find the time to negotiate that with yourself. All right. I'm also picking up something now. There's somebody here with an unborn child, but I'm feeling like this unborn child, there may be some complications coming through. Hold on. Let me feel into that a little bit. All right, so I'm looking here at this unborn child in somebody's wound. Someone here's, this is me, Jonelle, by the way. I'm looking here at somebody's unborn wound. Spirit is watching it, okay? They're watching over that. You're going to know if it's you, because this is for one person in particular. You're going to know if it's you because you have the perception that this baby is evil, okay? This is you, reach out to me, because you have the perception that this baby is evil. Now, it's funny because I'm going to say that, and I'll literally probably get like 20 people emailing me, is it my baby? You know, but I'm seeing that Spirit is watching this child, but they're also watching you, all right? Because I want to make sure that this is not your, let's throw some cards on this. Let Spirit be your guide, they said. I want to make sure that this is just not like an indication that on some level there's something going on the mental level for you. God bless. We all, and remember on our calls, guys, it's not about fear. It's about learning and getting information, and then from a place of being calm, working through it and fixing and, you know, all that good stuff, right? It's like the news, but non-sensational news. We don't need that in our lives. But I'm seeing there's this concern that the baby that you're carrying is evil, and that the way I'm feeling is like that it wants to rip itself out of me, and it's the devil's child, and that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Let's see. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you. So they're acknowledging that there is a child here. Duh. Okay, yay, I just did my job. They're acknowledging that there is a child here, and there is some love that you have for this child because it is your child, but you are having this fear about the sanctity of this baby. I'm seeing that you need to chill a bit. I think you need to chill because they're coming in, and look at how they're like trying to cut you out of this Eight of Swords situation. I think that you are perceiving of this child that way, but I think that it's not real. This is a deceptive thought that you're having, and I'm going to tell you right now. I bet you're single. Are you a single mother? Just as I said that, that's interesting. I pulled both these cards here. There's something here. It's either you're a single mother or the person you're with, you're afraid you're going to be, like, there may be two men here. Something's going on. But I'm seeing that these cards fell on the intuition card. I'm seeing that this is more of a mental state that you've gotten yourself into. And I think it's coming from a fear of being single, a fear of raising this child alone, that your mind is starting to tell you certain things. It's like there's this idea to have the happy home life card, right? Hold on. The 10 of Cups, but yet you're fighting it on some level. You're fighting it, right? And I think that part of it is because you may not admit it to yourself, but you may see yourself as a single mother. You may be a little bit slow to have your maternal instincts on a biological level pop up as well. I think that you may be missing the presence of another person, like a man in your life, and you may be kind of using, because I'm seeing this as a free will thing, but we got the deception card and low self-esteem. You might be convincing yourself of this idea as a way to kind of, I don't know if to say that you want to have an abortion or get rid of the child or whatever. And of course, God bless, any choice that you make is between you and God. But I'm picking this card up, that this is you telling that to yourself because you don't want to face the fact that on some level you don't want to have this baby. Look at the Hermit card coming out, and it's like you want to get rid of this baby. I don't know if this baby is still in the fetal stage or it's early development. I'm feeling it, but I feel that that's you, okay? I'm hearing July. I don't know if the baby is due in July or what, but look, this is you. See the baby like, Mom, and you're like, no. This is you creating distance from this baby. So again, whatever you choose is your decision, right? But time will come. I'm seeing you looking at this baby. Oops, I'm sorry. You're looking at this baby and seeing it as very distant. Your maternal instincts have not kicked in, is what I'm getting. And time will change, and this baby is going to be born, right? They're definitely going to be born. And so it's your choice now what to do with it. But whoever you are, God bless you. You'll know if it's you. You have convinced yourself erroneously that this baby is a devil's child. I feel it's quite the opposite. 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled. Okay, if you have to get on, I'm seeing this is the baby, and you're seeing. Look at this is the 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled card. This is a great card to have, but I'm seeing you as the mother here, and this baby here. Yeah, eating and being happy to eat, and you're like so mad. You don't want to feed it. Your shoes are here. You want to take the shoes off. You want to, it's almost like you want to mince up this baby into mincemeat and put it into this pitcher. I know that sounds gross, guys, and a little macabre, but this is a serious message for somebody out there. So let's have respect for that and send love and prayers for them. All right. Sometimes something goes on the mental level for us, and we have a divine love in here, this opportunity, but we're not able to see it because something's going on. I do think that you are distant from this baby at this time, and you're telling yourself things like the baby's evil, but that's only because you feel distant from it, okay? So just know that whatever you choose, that this is the fact of it. Don't lie to yourself about it, all right? And last card that came in, remember they pulled this card off. Freedom is yours to make that decision. All right, guys. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here on the call. What a crazy call this was today. It was all over the place, but that's the way Spirit wanted it. We don't mince words. They are saying again. They did come through and channel a little bit heavily, a little bit more heavy, a little bit heavier today, especially in that last part when my intonation slowed down. And we want to thank all of the people stopping by here today. Thank you so much for making this for us. A few topics were covered. And I just also want to let you guys know it's the 22nd. I'll be starting to do monthly readings now for December soon. Also, I'd like to do some other kinds of videos as well, but I just wanted to get this out. And of course, personal readings are coming up. Thank you so much, guys. If you'd like a personal reading, please let me know. And if you'd like to donate, thank you so much. You can just copy and paste the link for PayPal that's in my box below into the search bar, and there it is. All right, thank you guys. Thank you for staying on the call, and God bless you guys. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.